Hi, hello viewers, it's Myla Minute IAS Academy and now we are going to see Arab conquest of Sindh. We will discuss about Sindh dynasty. So, Arab conquest of Sindh will be around 712 to 713. There will be Arab conquest of Sindh. First, Sindh dynasty. Sindh dynasty will be established by Raja Chach. Raja Chach is the founder of Sindh dynasty and Raja Chach's son is Raja Dahir. Raja Dahir is the successor of Raja Chach and during Raja Dahir only, Arab will be conquered by Sindh. Arab will conquest the Sindh dynasty. So, Raja Chach is the founder and Dahir is the son of Raja Chach, and during his period only Arab conquest happened. So the Arab conquest, who conquest? Muhammad bin Qasim. Muhammad bin Qasim will defeat this Raja Dahir. Muhammad bin Qasim will defeat this Raja Dahir and captures Sindh in 1712 AD. Sorry, 712. Sorry. 712 AD June. He will capture. And Qazi Ismail is a book. Qazi Ismail is the name and he wrote a book called as Touchnama. This Touchnama book describes the administrative regulations introduced by Muhammad bin Qasim. Muhammad bin Qasim will be controlling this area right after conquest. So he will introduce some administrative regulations. The administrative regulations which are introduced by Muhammad bin Qasim will be explained in this Touchnama book. So this book tells about that. So actually this Muhammad bin Qasim will introduce a tax called as Jizya tax. Jizya tax is a tax that is collected from non-Islamic people for Islamic rulers. So Jizya tax. It is a tax which is paid by non-Muslim population to the Muslim ruler. So because of his bad policies, he will be called back to Arab. So Arab will call back the Muhammad bin Qasim. By this, it led to the Arab in Sindh. It led to the decline in Arab in Sindh. This is the thing which is relating to Sindh dynasty. Then we can see about the Arab invasion. Ghazni invasions. So relating Ghazni invasions will be starting from 1000. Ghazni invasion will start from 1000 and it will extend up to 1026. So Ghazni, by seeing this name, you will think that Ghazni is the name. Actually, Ghazni is not the name. The ruler of Ghazni is called as Ghazni. Actually, Ghazni is a place. The ruler of Ghazni is Sabuktagin. Sabuktagin is the ruler of Ghazni and the son of Sabuktagin is Mahmud. We say Mahmud of Ghazni as Ghazni. So Mahmud of Ghazni's period is from 1000 to 1026. So his India conquest will start from the 1000 and it will extend up to 1026. So initially he captured some places in northwest. Earlier we have seen during ancient India itself, neglecting of the northwestern provinces is the main reason for foreign invasions. So this neglect of the northwest province only led to Ghazni invasion also. First he will capture the northwest region, then he will get an idea of capturing this Hindu Shahi rulers of Vahind. His next target will be Hindu Shahi rulers of Vahind. In Hindu Shahi rulers of Vahind, there is a ruler called as Jayapala. So Jayapala is the ruler of Hindu Shahi rulers and Jayapala will be defeated by Mahmud Ghazni. So Mahmud Ghazni will defeat this Jayapala ruler. After the defeat, Jayapala will commit suicide. After Jayapala, we will have his successor called Anandapala. Anandapala is the successor of Jayapala. In 1001 only, Jayapala will be defeated. In 1001, Jayapala will be defeated by the Mahmud of Ghazni. Then in 1009, there is another battle called as Battle of Vahind. In Battle of Vahind, Muhammad defeated Anandapala. Mahmud defeated Anandapala. So 1001 only, 1001 Mahmud won. 1009 also Mahmud won. But it doesn't mean in all the battles Mahmud Ghazni won. Between 1001 and 1009 there are many battles in which Mahmud was also defeated by Anandapala. But in 1009 Mahmud was victorious. He won the battle and Anandapala was defeated. After this, in 1025 to 1026, their local Chalukya ruler called as Bhima Chalukyas. The local Chalukya ruler called as Bhima Chalukyas of Anhilwara didn't resist Ghazni. They won't resist Ghazni because of his great military and all those things. This person won't resist Ghazni and he will leave. So because of this, Ghazni will plunder the Somnath temple and gain lot of wealth. So because of this, Ghazni will plunder the Somnath temple and he will gain lot of wealth during Ghazni's period. During the Ghazni's period of 1000 to 1026 AD, the Somnath temple invasions are around 17 times he looted the Somnath temple. The main reason for Ghazni's invasions are he came only for the wealth of India. He came only to attack the temples and gain wealth. He never had the idea of settling his base in India. Then scholars. During Mahmud Ghazni, there are some scholars. Let us see about those scholars one by one. First, Al-Biruni. Al-Biruni is a scholar who wrote Kitabul Hind. Kitabul Hind is the book name. Then we have Utbi. Then we have Firdausi. Firdausi also wrote another book called Shahnama. By this we can know about the Ghazni's invasions and all that. And in 1014, Ghazni invaded Taneshwar and he burned the temple Madra. In 1014, Ghazni invaded Taneshwar. He will invade the Taneshwar and he will also burn the temple of Madra. And in between 1000 to 1026, as like I earlier said, he made 17 invasions to India only to gain wealth. These are the things which are relating to Ghazni. After this, let us see about Gorian invasions. So relating Gorian invasions are a little bit similar to Ghazni invasions only. At first he had the idea of looting from India only. Later he will develop an idea of settling his base in India. He will appoint his commander general. One of his commander general is only Qutbuddin Aibak. He will set his commander general Qutbuddin Aibak to take care of his Indian territories. He will set around 3 people, I think. So one of them is Qutbuddin Aibak to take care of his Indian territories. But Gori will be killed by tribes. He will be killed by tribes, and after his death, Qutbuddin Aibak will declare independence and he will start Delhi Sultanate. So after this only Delhi Sultanate will be started under that slave dynasty. So Qutbuddin Aibak is the founder of slave dynasty. Let us discuss about all this in our next video in brief. So that's all. Thank you. Subscribe to My Lemonade IAS Academy.